Top 10 scary things hidden in normal photos. And we're starting off the list with this photo here. Just look at this happy young couple. They got their arms around each other. They're smiling for the camera. With my keen senses of sight and sharp detective skills, I can also see that they're standing right in front of a tent. And due to the dark background and dirt-like appearance of the ground they're standing on, it appears as if they're outdoors. There also appears to be a fire raging in the bottom left-hand corner. And because the couple are posing for a picture rather than panicking, I think we got ourselves a good old-fashioned tent and fire party on our hands. A camping trip, perhaps. Everything looks pretty normal until your eyes drift to the left of the couple. Just what in tarnation is that? The short, semi-translucent figure seems to be lurking right behind this unwitting couple. Kind of looks like a ghost doll. Two words that should never be placed beside each other in a sentence. And at number 9, we have this photo, which I'm just gonna call the mysterious ghoul. Before we get to the scary stuff though, let me use my keen intellect to set the scene here. Don't have a lot of information about these pictures, so I gotta pull from them what I can. All 3 of these gentlemen are dressed as fancy lads. Nice fitted tuxedos, and they're all smiling at the camera. Pretty obvious to me that these guys were dressed up to hit the cinema to catch the latest Bond movie on opening night. Due to the quality of the picture, I'm gonna guess this is like 2006, so Casino Royale. Nice. They look pretty excited to catch the flick too. But they wouldn't be so excited if they saw the ghoul like crouching between their legs at the bottom of the picture. Like, who invited Reagan from The Exorcist to the 007 dress-up party? What is a ghoul? A small zombie? Nightmare fuel. That's what it is. Anyway, I hope these guys didn't get mauled by this demon as soon as Terry put his $12 disposable Kodak camera back in his pocket to document the rest of the evening. And at number 8, we have the family photo. Old vintage photographs are always a bit unsettling to me. I feel like most of you would probably agree with that. The black and white just makes everything look drab and sad, but I think the main reason why vintage pictures are so off-putting is that everyone in them is probably dead by now. And in this picture, we see a happy family. There are a whole bunch of empty lawn chairs behind them, way more than are necessary for one family. So my guess is that they just had a party. But they may have had one uninvited guest make an appearance in their family picture, lurking in the background to the left, right in front of the door. It doesn't look like it has a body, or maybe it has a body, but it's just shrouded in shadow. Just what is this thing though? Is it a clown, an intruder wearing a kabuki mask? Next on the list we have this picture of a lady smiling in bed. She looks glad to be home. Can't blame her, and why would I want to? Nothing wrong with being happy and smiling. But there's a lot of strange stuff going on with this picture. Using my hawk-like eyes, I see she looks to be wearing a Christmas-themed blanket, but the fan pointing directly at her face tells me a different story. It tells me it's hot in that room, so I don't think it's December. Then again, the fan isn't on, so does she just leave the fan perched over her bed all year round collecting dust? Or does it just happen to be off at this present moment and she lives somewhere maybe where it's warm all year round, like California? It's either Christmas in Cali or she just really likes Christmas and wears that blanket all the time. The point is, there's something hiding in this picture. I'll give you a second to figure out what it is. Yeah, right where the corner of the mattress and the back of the bed frame meet, there's an eye poking out from under the bed. Whoever this person is, they're obviously hiding. But the question is, does she know this person is there? Like, maybe is she hiding them? Is it her boyfriend who's not supposed to be there? Or is it an intruder? It's pretty much either one of those situations. At our number 6 spot, we have a photo I'm going to call the tree trunk terror. This is one for all you arachnophobes out there. Yeah, it doesn't take long looking at this picture to realize there's a massive sized spider parked right in the middle of this tree, blending in with the bark. I'm not sure what kind of tree this is. It doesn't look like a particularly big one, but the spider's legs extend out pretty far. I'm guessing this would probably be almost the size of a grown man's hand, which just isn't good. I don't want that in a spider. Imagine walking through the woods at night. You're trying to find your way back to your tent after taking a leak. You're already freaked out because a ghost was spotted in the picture your buddy took of you and your girlfriend in front of the fire. And then you place your hand on a tree only to feel something long and furry squirming around under your hand. It's not a squirrel, a little too skinny to be a squirrel. It's this spider. Your camping career would probably be over in an instant and nobody would blame you. Number 5, newlyweds. Oh no, not another old vintage black and white photograph. So we have a couple who look to have just gotten married. The wife looks mildly pleased. The husband looks like he's doing the 1,000-yard stare. Maybe he's been forced into this arrangement. Anyway, people rarely smile on old photographs though, so maybe they were very happy. Who knows? What really makes this picture feel extra haunted, though, is lurking in the background. Take a gander at the window. Clearly, you can see a figure peering out. It looks to be a man dressed in a suit and a tie, possibly a wedding guest. There's something off about him. His features are almost entirely blurred. You can't make out eyes, a nose, a mouth, all those things that make a human face comfortable to look at. So, is this a deceased family member making a visit from the afterlife to attend this wedding? Or did these folks just not clean their windows, like ever? Next we have lurking fear. Now, it's hard for me to really call this a normal photo. Wherever this is, it looks like a pretty creepy place. Completely dilapidated and the lighting is very low. It looks like nighttime. Seems to me we have an abandoned place of some kind on our hands, and abandoned places are inherently unsettling, not to mention kind of dangerous. If it's not an abandoned place, it's just someone's very unkempt apartment. They need to clean every once in a while, keep everything in their place from rotting away. Anyway, it's very hard to spot at first glance with all the mess filling up the frame, but if you look pretty much dead center, you'll see a pair of beady glowing eyes and a pale face peering out from the debris of what used to be a wall. Most likely, it's a squatter, but the low camera quality and the dim lighting makes it look a bit like a rake or golem, which is not fun. Next up we have the Pigman. This photo was taken at Fort Worden Artillery Battery, an abandoned artillery base. You could see two people hugging. I don't know about you, but a dark, dank, decrepit concrete passage is not where I'd want to be for an intimate embrace. Anyway, scan your eyes to the top left of the frame, and you can clearly see a figure sandwiched between the ceiling and a concrete structure. It's probably just the sweet early 2000s digital camera quality that's making this person look so messed up, but to me this person looks like a pigman. And the last thing I'd want is to be exploring an abandoned military barracks that are probably haunted already, only to have a deformed pig monster jump down on my head from up in the ceiling somewhere. Ugh. And in second place, we have Chucky. Just look at these cool bros. They look chill. They look cool. They're just a couple bros hanging out, posing for a picture on their sweet 2006 photo booth app. Remember how entertaining photo booth used to be? The amount of embarrassing photo booth pictures there are of me floating around the internet. Anyway, these two aren't the only people captured in this picture. Looks like we got something lurking in the background, and it doesn't look friendly. I joke, but whatever that is at the bottom center of the frame, it's pretty nightmare-inducing. It looks kind of like a Chucky doll, or again like Reagan from The Exorcist, neither of which I'd want creeping around in the shadows of my home at night. And finally, we have this photo of a cute cat. Look at this cute cat. It's just having dinner, looking up at the camera, but the glowing eyes of the cat aren't the only glowing eyes in this picture. Just what are those two beady glowing green eyes in the background there? Is it perhaps another cat or maybe a dog? Well, that's highly unlikely because looking closely, this picture was taken from high up. We have stairs leading down to the left, and it looks like we're around the same height of those branches in the tree in the top right of the picture. So whatever those eyes are, they're pretty high up. Maybe it's a giant cat, but that's really scary too. Or most likely they're big enough to be all the way at ground level and still be seen from high up. So it's some kind of creature down there. To me, it kind of looks maybe like alligator eyes, which may not be paranormal, but that is still a pretty terrifying animal to have lurking around in your backyard.